have with us Honorable Justice N. Seshasayee ji, who will be speaking on the topic Viksit Bharat, Positioning Judiciary. He brings the voice of the judiciary into this national dialogue. In this session, he explores how law can serve as the guardian of dharma, ensuring fairness, dignity, and progress as Bharat steps forward. Let us invite Honorable Justice onto the stage with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon, all. It was such a fascinating experience to be as a participant, listener of a previous session, heard so much about women empowerment, women education, and how it thrived. I just compare that with the contemporary world. We don't see the best of worlds. After all, not the sane will not come to the court. He who cheats or he who gets cheated, they come to the court. Here, I wish the children are brought aware, made aware about the distinction between entitlement and empowerment. That is where the world gets struggle these days. And I've got my reasons, but then that is not my topic. Viksit Bharat, Positioning Judiciary. Before I chose the topic, in fact, the organizers were kind enough to ask me to speak on on a topic of my choice, something to do with Viksit Bharat. What can be great? The first half they chose, the second half I chose the topic. Before the topic was chosen, I was there in Delhi, participated in a program which deals with strengthening tribunals. Now I am part of the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. So I was invited. And there were people were rambling with statistics, trying to project how bad the tribunals are functioning. And eventually, because there is some NGO which policy making there was main focus or objectives, they work in tandem with another NGO in Delhi. They all combine to produce a lot of statistics to show that tribunals do not function. And surprisingly, I came to know in my speech, during my speech and after my speech, that not one of them were before any tribunal to see how a tribunal actually works. Therefore, I thought when I chose this topic, I requested the organizers to circulate questionnaires, about 4-5 common questions, the great opinion citizens have about our judiciary. It was circulated. I am told that about 300 questionnaires were circulated and it evoked only 48 responses. And this morning, I came here to collect those to just know what kind of, how people actually responded. Only 18 among the 48 say they knew something about courts. Rest of them, they said no or I know something about court. You have to check with him. You want an action replay? Okay. So there are 300 questionnaires, I'm told they were circulated. 48, we got only about 48 responses, of whom, as I went through the answers, I find only 18 say with confidence, I know something about courts. Rest say, I know something about it. And many say, no. Honest answers. And the criticisms, or observations, after all, citizens are entitled to make their observation about the institution which is intended for them. As expected, long pendency and delay, corruption, judicial corruption, including bias and political biases, attitude of the judges, lack of accountability, there is no logic in many case judgments, and lack of consistency in judgments. But then solutions, we are talking about, the more you want to need solution, don't talk about problem, talk about solution. Solutions, 3 were honest. Don't ask the society. Society has become asura. So don't ask the society, but no solution has come. And someone has said, cut all vacations, something I expected for the judges, and also privileges. And the same gentleman has also said, increase the workload of judges. Then 4 people made wonderful statement. Society must take responsibility for the institutions. Some said, give up archaic procedure. Another said, bring in AI. And only one supported judiciary as it exists, because the one who answered it has ambitions in judiciary, but indicated it. I want to become so and so. I respect each of these observations. Having said that, we are not. So here is an audience. About 200, 300 questionnaires circulated. Only 48 wanted to at least participate in a discussion or a discourse on transformation of judiciary to make it relevant to Viksit Bharat. So where are we? We are here to take, I represent judiciary, not because the Supreme Court or the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has nominated me. After all, I have spent 20 years as a lawyer, 20 years as a judge. I think I have got fair enough number of years of experience to make some statements about it. I do not for one discount the fact that we don't require transformation, updating ourselves to meet your expectations. But where are you going to start it? Someone said, cut all privileges for judges. Wonderful. You know, in spite of these privileges, we don't get quality judges. People are not willing to come forward to become judges. Why? It's a backbreaking, thankless job. Nobody wants to take up these days. Who decides that? The society decides that. A lawyer somewhere decides that he may be a best of quality, but he decides not to come. Then you have to make choices with available choices. Who is to blame? When I became a district judge, when I was appointed as a district judge, that was the time I was speaking up as a lawyer after quite a number of early years of struggle, which any lawyer would necessarily undergo. I was in two minds, to be or not to be. And I discussed this with a senior counsel in Madurai. He said, it's a call of the nation. You know, many people who want to become Jawan and stand in the queue in the winter for the selection, for selecting 100 Jawans, some 1,000 able-bodied men go and stand there. Each one of them know that they are likely to be killed if they want to serve the nation. They are even ready to die for the nation, yet not everyone get the good fortune of being selected as a Jawan, appointed as a Jawan. So this is a call of the nation, call of the divinity, that you have to serve, don't look for money. I did that. But then I have a family. Please understand, I will start from the perception. I'm not here to position judiciary because judiciary is your institution, not mine. You have to position judiciary where you want to. This is, therefore, the problem in this country is anything that does not belong to me and anything which I want to do well for me, it belongs to somebody else, and that somebody else should take care of every one of my needs, and I'm not going to take responsibility for that. I will tell you something, a few anecdotal experiences. I have handled as many number of cases in my chamber meeting of all variety, from corporate disputes to family disputes to partition disputes. I want to see if something can be solved by discussing to the parties. Here is a lady who came in. I asked her, what's your problem? She said, my husband doesn't even allow me to wear the saree of my color or the choice of my color. It's a problem for her. It's a problem for her. You may consider this absolutely ridiculous. Even I consider that. I called her husband. What's your problem? He said, sir, I can ask only my wife to wear the color of my choice. I cannot ask my neighbor's wife. For us, it's something to laugh about. For her, the problem. For her, it's a problem. I can give umpteen number of such nonsense cases. I did not ask the spouses to fight. I did not ask somebody to squat on somebody's land. I did not ask somebody to forge a document and file a suit. I did not ask anybody any brother to deny a sister a share in the property. I did not ask anybody to break the contract. Who do it? You do it. And you dump everything on the court. Problem I create, solution I outsource it to the court. This is the attitude. Please understand. When you go for a patta, I did not ask anybody you had to go for a patta. Somebody has to look at your title deed and give you the patta. If he does not do, I don't ask him not to do that for you to come to the court. If you have got a problem in identifying the boundaries of your property, you have to go to the surveyor, pay the charges, and ask him to measure the property. The surveyor under law has to give notice to all parties who are adjacent to the property which is required to be surveyed. The moment the notice comes, they come to the court. Rather, he has to stand in the field, help the surveyor and understand the matter. And when the matter actually comes to the court, we appoint a commissioner, the same surveyor goes on behalf of the party and measures the same land. Where's the problem? See, we are not a garbage truck as you think to solve everybody's problem, but you dump problem on us and blame us for that. I have no issues on that. But then you will continue to have, unless you take responsibility as to the quality of litigation that should actually come to the court, the inflow of litigation can never be stopped. It's human temptations. essentially based on greed and lack of compassion. I did not ask anybody to throw their parents on the road. I did not do that. I did not ask anybody to drive their wife and children onto the road. I did not do that. Therefore, when are we, the society, going to take responsibility for the institution that we have created? It is not for my benefit. I have got a lot of anger there. Here's a scenario where, so unless you take responsibility for the institution, please inscribe in your mind before you show an accusing finger to the judiciary. Yes, we have got ills. Yes, we have got a lot of problems inside. There's no meaning in talking to you. That's a platform talking where I have to talk to them. But where are we going to stop? See, for instance, if there is a blockage in a drainage, or let us say your tap, what does a plumber do? He first closes the supply line, then attends to this. Can we do that? Can we do that? And merely because there are sanitary workers to collect garbage, is it necessary that you should dump garbage on the road? That precisely is happening to judiciary. At least in my experience in the last 20 years as a judge, most cases, at least about 30-35% of the cases are just useless cases. But we do not know. There's something called judicial process. Please understand, the famous saying is, justice must not only be done, but seen to be done. What is the seen to be done all about? I must hear, and I must hear her too. You measure everything in the barometer of time. There's a time, you have to ask only 20 minutes. Who are you to say that? See, I cannot do stop clock justice. Each case has got a different complexion. I always used to call courts are doctors of bleeding rights. We are doctors of bleeding rights. Whether everybody follows the same attitude is a different issue. That is about individuals who man the court. But all I would like to state is, do you ask a cardiac surgeon, there are about 100 people waiting in the queue, but I get a date only in some 7 months hence. Do you ask? For you, your case matters. If those who have got any litigation in the court, for you, your case matter. For us, every case matters. If your advocate argue for 2 hours, explaining everything, repeating, re-repeating, you are absolutely happy about it because you are paid him, your advocate speaks for 2 hours and court was extremely patient. But then the one who argued before your advocate is also equally entitled to make statements on his case. But where is the time? Say, they overload the judges. Overload judge with what? Have you ever known a judge's life? I've been a judge for 20 years. For the third time, I'm talking about it. I've been a judge for 20 years. I'm entitled to 2 LTC every year. Please understand, vacations, we are sedentary work. Right from morning 7 o'clock to evening 9 o'clock, you only see the visible portion, 10:30 to 4:35 you see. But we work way before that. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, evening 8 o'clock. See how many judges go home by 8 o'clock. Have you ever known that? And we have got our health issues. Our occupational hazard due to our sedentary lifestyle is enormous. So when the vacation comes for about 10 days, most of us go for this Coimbatore, the Kovai, this Ayurvedic pharmacy, KAP. Most of us will be here. You go here during summer vacation, most of them will be here. To get an appointment during summer vacation will be, they have got only few beds. We have to make well in advance. And remaining 20 days, we actually work on the cases which we have reserved for, where we require to break our back and brain to write a judgment. Do you know that? So it is much easy to write off a judge and to give a bad name to a judge and hang him. Much easier. But where is the social responsibility? Therefore, gentlemen, it's all, and the decision making. It is not, we are not, it's like not like an ordering for an espresso coffee, give a tenner and get a Coke or get an espresso coffee. No. We all take decisions. Please understand, we all take decisions. You go to a restaurant, you just all go to, 10 of you go to a restaurant, you will be served, a menu card will be circulated. How much time you take to choose your favorite dish? Right? The only person who makes quick decision in all his life is, in my mind, is the football referee. Without a blink of an eye, he pulls a yellow card, red card, good, bad, or ugly, the game progresses, because the game itself lasts for some 45, 1 2 hours, the whole game gets ended. Life is some kind of a T20. It is you are right involved. If somebody loses a case, who knows the fate of the family? I see a litigant, hence I said, I'm not concerned about the lawyers. But the important thing is, we are concerned and overly concerned about the one who is behind him, one who we do not see. His rights are involved. His fortune, his life is involved. It is much easier to dispose. I can easily, safely say, why all odd numbers allowed, all even numbers dismissed. I can do that. I can do that. Why should we break our head? So this is, some of you will be in various clubs, association, or companies presiding over board meetings. Everything is there. You take decisions. There will be differences in the club or in your, so even resident associations. There will be a committee. There will be meeting. There will be some difficulty for you to take decisions. Eventually, when you decide, only the decision, the last part of it, the resolution forms part of it. You don't require to write why you come to that decision, for which you have to spend 10, 15, 20 pages. And if those 20 pages, everything has to be measured in time. Everything has to be measured in time. So unless our workload is reduced, for which society has to take a lot of responsibility, you are never going to see. We can speak. You can speak, you criticize, judiciary is corrupt. I agree, judiciary is corrupt. It is biased. Yes, it is biased. What are the alternatives? Somebody said collegium. I expected it. Collegium system. Now, collegium system this is a wrong perception. Vis-a-vis Viksit Bharat and collegium system, I don't see a connection. What is collegium system about? 5 judges sit together to pick judges. You say there is nepotism, there is bias, there's blah, blah stuff. What if all the judges so selected are actually competent to become judges? How does it matter to you? The issue is, the accusation is, it does not produce the right kind of judges. They don't select the right kind of judges. So it is not so much about collegium system, it is so much, is all about the choice of judges they select. Possibly, yes. Therefore, let us start in Ramayana. There is a own beautiful character. I always love that character. Hanuman is one popular character, is a Superman, who he enters appearance almost after 1/3 of Ramayana and continues even till Mahabharata days. And this Hanuman is a superhero. Everybody, most of us, and anyone given an opportunity, everybody wants to become an Hanuman. And many pretend they have already become Hanuman. But I go for another beautiful character, squirrel. That little squirrel, it may appear, if you make Ramayana into a movie, it may appear in 1 or 2 scenes. That little squirrel only tries to do what little it can do. We all can be squirrel, trying to contribute what little we can. If there is a dispute in the family, We can step in, but are we doing it? The broader question is, who is going to take, nobody is going to heed to me, nobody is going to listen to me. Then where lies the problem? If I cannot even talk to my children, if I cannot talk to my neighbor, try to help solve the problem, and it's my problem, it's his problem. Who created that kind of a society? We are not created. We are not created it. Therefore, there must be social action. There was a bulwark already available. The family system was available. But today, the questioner, some people said that, there were some responses which say that issues relating to women must be expedited. Why not men? It's an equal country, equal gender. Everyone has got right, and court cannot discriminate. Yet we have got separate courts. Therefore, the problem is much, much larger, and we cannot be compensated with, it cannot be, you cannot find solution to the problem with such cosmetic discussion. Everyone should strive hard to see how to preserve the institution which the Constitution has created. It has been there even before Constitution in a different way, historically too. But important thing is, every such institution is for your benefit, and it is for the society to take care of the institution it has created. To sum up, therefore, the questions, if you want, again I will say that when you want to reach destination faster, you need clean roads. And we do not know, somebody said I was drawn to the case deliberately. But I did not ask your opponent to draw you. But having come, I have to hear you both. One may be a fraud, one might have been a wrongdoer, but I will come to know only at the end, not at the beginning. You may know it, but there's justice must be seen to be done equally, and both must have an equal say in that. I have to demonstrate it is done equally. Then the larger issue is about bias, corruption. It is about the choice of person. When the society's morality level, society takes care to preserve the moral values within it, whoever comes to occupy the position of a judge, he is going to be morally correct. He will worry twice, thrice before he tries to think of doing a wrong thing. Attitude, yes. So effectively, judges come not from heaven, but from the society. Therefore, I'm not going to wash my hands saying that everything is rosy in judiciary. There are ills. That has to be addressed. But then, by shifting every blame to the judiciary, the society should not think that judiciary is separate, we are separate. Therefore, if judiciary has to do something, it has to take care of itself, and we have no role to play, is something which is constitutionally a constitutional anathema to me. Let's do it, I'm happy. And let's do it, we can. Thank you. And positioning judiciary in Viksit Bharat, just position this idea within your mind. Try to see what best can you do. If a family dispute, I always ask whenever I would have interviewed about 400 plus couple in my chamber, try to see what best I can do. I always used to ask them, they would have been married for 1 year, 2 years, and fresh from the marriage. They have all been there before me. I asked them only one question. How long your parents are married? The boy and girl invariably would do 25 years, 30 years. Have they ever fought? They said, yes, they have fought bitterly. Then go and ask them why they are living together and you are living separately. See, for nothing we are getting cases. Nothing we are getting cases. Second part, if you go to bureaucracy, they fear, there are two things. Either they are corrupt, inefficient is one thing, as though it is not, inefficiency is just a virtue of the judiciary. It is equally there. The larger one who wants to decide, they don't want to decide because They are not sure how judiciary will eventually consider that. So they defer taking decision. And when you actually look at it, it is an easy way to pass on the bucks to judiciary. Actually, we are not concerned. On the other hand, we say, you go decide. You have got the power, exercise the power, do that. They don't want to do that. Simple case, bank. I am presiding the IBC, the Insolvency Banking Court business. You go to the banks. Okay, you have got a debt of about 100 crores, a business, some company has a debt of 100 crores. He offers a OTS for about 20 crores. The bank would not accept it these days. Instead, they will go to the IBC and everything is a long drawn process after 2-3 years. Eventually, after the resolution process, they get the same 20 crores. So why they don't want to decide? You ask the banker, he would say, sir, at 75, when I'm relaxing and watching television and playing with my grandchildren, I don't want CBI or ED to knock my door about something which have happened some 10 years back. I would have even forgotten. Some decision I would have taken. So another burden on the court, what creates a burden on the court is refusal to decide by those who are in law are required to decide issues. We did not create the situation. Somehow, I just want to require each one of you and also to spread the message that we take responsibility for judiciary and try to intervene wherever we can to help people solve the dispute. When you create the problem, when citizens create disputes, they know where it arose. Indeed, they are the best judges to resolve the problem that they have created. They are outsourcing it. I always used to quote one famous quotable quote of Justice Mida of Bombay, Delhi High Court, who in his farewell speech said, I love that. The litigants know the truth and the courts are on trial. This is a truth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I request Sri Srinivasan Iyer to felicitate Justice Seshasayee.